Sometimes I wish Joe's mouth would move around my pee-pee.
Just a robot.
It seems I'm still feeling the effects of the Pokemon drama to this day. So for those of you who don't know, I did a video on top 11 Pokemon that could destroy the world. Doodletones did a commentary on my video. She mistranslated what I said. I said these Pokemon couldn't destroy the world, but she thought I was saying these Pokemon couldn't do any damage whatsoever. After I made my response to Doodle, the commentary community she was a part of started gaining up on me. Me and a few other people who were fed up with the way Doodletones' commentary community was acting decided to form our own commentary community called the Alt-CC, a name which I came up with, by the way, and we decided to call Doodle's community the Neo-CC, a name I did not come up with. Eventually I did leave the Alt-CC over a year ago, and I thought I would never hear from them again, until Darkscythe did this video on me. Now I have enjoyed the guy's content before. Other than me, I think he did the most work in the Alt-CC, and when I saw he did a video on me, I was kind of excited. But then I actually watched the video and, oh dear god.
Just a robot. Quite possibly one of the worst YouTubers I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, I get it. Instead of calling me a YouTuber, you call me a Jewtuber. Clever! Except for you need to explain how I'm a Jewtuber. That insult is usually reserved for people like the Fine Bros when they try to trademark the word react, or other YouTubers who try to scam people. I'm sure Darkscythe's argument is going to be, it's just a joke, you're taking it too seriously. Well, the joke doesn't make any sense and it's not funny, so it fails either way.
The fact that he constantly talks about dead topics that nobody gives a shit about, like the Five Nights at Freddy's fan base.
Well, I talked about the Five Nights at Freddy's fan base one time, and that's it. I wanted to talk about the fanbase for a long time, but I thought it was my last chance because MatPat was doing his last video on the topic. Unless, of course, Scott releases a new one.
Like, wow, you don't like the Five Nights at Freddy's fan base? Why don't you make a video about the ICP fan base while you're at it?
Well, I care more about FNAF than those guys. And this is something Darkscythe is going to do throughout the video. He's going to constantly say, oh my god, you don't like this thing that other people don't like? Wow, so original. But the thing is, you can do that with pretty much any channel. I can even do that with yours, Darkscythe. Wow, you don't like incels? So original. You are the first one to ever cover incels on YouTube. Congratulations. Also, Darkscythe, if I'm so unoriginal, then what does that say about you and your little Alt-CC? I was the one who came up with the name, not you guys.
Of course, as everyone knows, Jar was a member of a community called the Alt-CC, which I helped found. Our mission was to destroy what we called the Neo-CC, a new age of commentators that can't take a fucking joke and spurg out over the smallest things. I could talk about how we wanted all of the edgelords out of the Alt-CC.
Well, you could do that. You would be a liar if you did that, because I did not want all the edgelords out of the Alt-CC. I didn't want anyone to be kicked out. Except for maybe Chambers of my heart, and that's about it. But she's really not an edgelord in any way whatsoever. This is another thing Darkscythe is going to be doing throughout this video. He lies about me a lot. He doesn't have any evidence for these claims, but I also don't have evidence because I don't use Skype anymore. But me saying let's get rid of all the edgelords doesn't sound like something I would do.
And that he wanted to make peace with the Neo-CC.
Again, another lie. This was happening when I made my Icyhazard video. I said let's have a temporary truce with the Neo-CC. We should do a video on Icyhazard to show that we stand by our principles no matter what. Whether it's someone from Doodletones group or someone doing a video on Doodletones, we're still going to stand by our principles no matter what. Other than me, no one else in the Alt-CC talked about Icyhazard, except I think maybe Jorm, but I can't remember if he was a part of the group or not. And then when you came back to the community, Abortion said I wanted to make peace with the Neo-CC, a bold-faced lie, you believed him, no questions asked, and then I left the group. Abortion was also talking about how my plan failed. You guys even go through with my plan.
completely defeating the purpose of the alt-CC in the first place. But of course, he just wanted to cater to his audience and not use too many mean and evil ad hominems.
Again, no. You guys kept on saying, doodle diapers, doodle diapers, doodle diapers, and I was telling you guys to come up with something new. Don't turn this around on me and say, oh, Jar doesn't like it when people insult other people. No, I don't like it when people use the same boring insult over and over and over again. Of course, Darkscythe doesn't have proof for this, but I also don't have proof for this either. But does this really sound like something I would do? Also, Darkscythe, you left the group at one point too. And when you left, I was doing all the work. Everybody else was being lazy, and Exam couldn't help because he was having issues with his computer.
So he tucked his tail between his legs and bitched out because that's all he thinks he can do to get more viewers.
That doesn't even make any sense! You bitched out because it was the only way you thought you could get views and attention. Because everybody knows being a coward makes you rich and famous. I feel like I'm back in middle school with a bunch of edgelords who make insults that don't even make any sense.
The issue is, no matter how much Jar wants to make videos about the Neo-CC, he's one of them.
Yeah, guys, I really badly want to talk about the Neo-CC. That's why I haven't talked about them in over a year.
He makes terrible opening skits that seem like freshmen in high school drama class with dementia.
Hey guys, I'm just a robot. And as you can clearly tell, I am a robot.
And I'm Junkie. I'm not a robot. I'm an animal. And Jar here thought it'd be an interesting idea to do a video on robot animals.
Junkie, you're not supposed to introduce yourself like that.
Of course.
No, you can't be serious, Darkscythe. Oh my god. This is actually a joke about long skits. Let's keep playing and see what I say after he cuts me off. Junkie, you're not supposed to introduce yourself like that. You're supposed to do an unfunny skit about you breaking into my house, and then through a series of very awkward dialogue, we agree to do a video on something together.
Or we can not do something that makes your average, low-budget middle school play look like a Broadway production of Hamlet.
Whoa, that's a fascinating concept. Let's do that instead. Now I want to make this clear, I have done unfunny skits with Manga Common, and what's really funny, if Darkscythe just waited one more week, he could have used the clip I did with Manga Common instead. But he took a joke I made about long skits, took it out of context and said, you see, Jar supports unfunny skits. I don't know if Darkscythe is an idiot or a liar or both. This is like the easiest thing to counter ever.
Of course, his god-awful monotone voice doesn't help.
But Darkscythe, you don't understand. He has a monotone voice to be like a robot because he wants to be quirky and relatable to his anthro audience.
No, actually, he talks like this in voice calls too. It's really fucking annoying to the point where I want to staple my fucking ears shut.
I love how he's trying to compare me to the Neo-CC, but he made the exact same point Doodle made about me.
Okay, this is going to seriously bother me if I don't bring this up here. I get it, you're trying to be a robot, that's your character, but the way you speak is grating. It's as if you're a child trying to sound incredibly cool, but you wind up sounding more edgy than anything. It makes me want to play dodgeball in traffic.
Also, Doodletones, I mean Darkscythe. Sorry, I got you two mixed up for a second. I have used my real voice on my channel before. In fact, very recently.
I have used my real voice in other videos, but I've never done it for such a long time on my main channel. And for those of you who don't know, yeah, this is how I really sound.
But of course, he wants to appeal to his autistic audience, like making videos about Chris Chan, like, whoa, such an innovative idea that's never been done before.
Christian Weston Chandler, also known as the CWC. I wanted to do a video about him for a very long time, but what can I say that hasn't already been said? Well, the answer is absolutely nothing. I love how he says, "Whoa, you did a video on Chris Chan, so original." And then he plays a clip of me saying that doing videos on Chris Chan is not original. Pretty much everything about him has already been said.
Then why make a video? What's the point?
So instead of talking about Christian Weston Chandler, I'm going to talk about Christina Weston Chandler.
But that makes no difference.
Oh no, Darkscythe, please no. Please don't say what I think you're gonna say.
They're still the same person. That's like saying, I'm not gonna talk about Clark Kent this time, I'm talking about Superman. Like, fuck off, dude.
Oh my god. This is one thing I really hate about making videos. I never know what people are going to take away from what I say. The point I was making is that I'm not going to go into too much detail about what Christian Western Chandler did when he was going by the name Christian Western Chandler. I just talked about him briefly for the people who don't know about him. I'm not talking about his history. I'm talking about what's going on right now. I was talking about new shit. Did you even watch my video?
But what? Chris Chan is bad? He's stupid? He's done stupid things. Oh, please do tell Just a Robot.
Oh wow, you're making the same point you already made, which I already debunked. Because guess what? I wasn't saying I was the first person to ever talk about him, but somehow you got that message.
Wow, Steve Shives and social justice warriors are bad?
Yeah, and it's not like you ever said the same thing. Oh wait, you did. But unlike you, Darkscythe, I actually covered a Steve Shives video that no one else talked about before me. At least as far as I know. I didn't see any other responses to the one I talked about. But I know I've seen other people respond to the video you covered.
Attention, free speech warriors, hear my cry. These dyed-haired, smelly college kids with hairy armpits are the biggest threat to our freedom of speech.
I wouldn't say they're the biggest threat, but they're a decent-sized threat.
Wow, that's really cool. Want to talk about the genocide in Yemen? Or, issues that actually affect us?
Are you gonna talk about it? Also, how does something that happened in a country on the other side of the planet affect us? And by us, I mean Americans.
I think what really butters my biscuits about jack off a retard is, how he jacks off retards.
Oh, do tell.
He makes the video about the most mundane of topics and managed to actually maintain a following. He brings absolutely no new points to the table about anything he talks about. It's just the same shit you've been hearing from Sargon of Akkad or Wrecked Feminist videos.
Yeah, guys, remember when Sargon of Akkad and Wrecked Feminist videos talked about Kalu and Rick and Morty fans? Darkscythe, I don't even talk about feminism and SJWs anymore. You can say that I used to, but so did you.
Whether it's his shitty political videos or his shitty Dragon Ball Z videos, there's already 1,000 other channels that said pretty much the same shit he said about the topic.
Well, I'm still working on all versions of Superman versus all versions of Goku. That hasn't been done yet. Granted, it's not out, but it's just an example. I also talked about anime artifacts that could be Infinity Stones. I exposed stories for not being 8 years old, which I was surprised that no one did before me, and much more. I will admit I have covered things that other people have covered before I covered them, and didn't add much of anything to the conversation, but you can pretty much say that about any YouTuber. But I do somewhat agree with Darkscythe here, and I'll try to make my content at least a little bit more original. But Darkscythe. Holy shit, that's actually a really good impression of me. I have a following, and you just don't understand, and you're just jealous. Ah, yes, the jealous argument, which I have never used in any of my videos, and don't plan on ever using.
Trust me, I never want the retards you attract anywhere near my fan base. A bunch of fucking mouth-breathing, sock-chewing, shit-eating fans that will watch anything that's on their fucking screen because, ooh, pretty lights on the screen.
Yeah, guys, remember when my fans said pretty lights on the screen? My fans are dumb because Darkscythe says they're dumb. Darkscythe, let's talk about one of your biggest fans, abortion. A guy who was so bad at arguing he lost to an Antifa member.
Whoa, the picture is moving. Jar's mouth moves just like a cartoon.
Okay, that's actually pretty good. Except for I've already made fun of my fans for that.
Sometimes I wish Jar's mouth would move around my pee-pee.
I'm gonna put that at the beginning.
Let's also not forget, he completely ripped off my Dragon Ball Z vs Sonic The Similarities video. Literally brings up the exact same points I do and calls it a day.
Darkscythe, while we do share some of the same points, I do add some new stuff. For example, I talked about the similarities between the plot of GT and the plot of Sonic X. Also, plenty of people have covered the similarities long before either of us did. Stop acting like you're original. Even when I look up your exact title, 2 videos show up before yours. What makes you think I even knew about your video?
In conclusion, Jar is an idiot.
I have made mistakes in my video, but you don't talk about the idiotic mistakes I have made. Instead, you say I'm unoriginal and you lie about me being a coward. I think you forgot to go over something there, buddy.
That makes god-awful content that appeals to the lowest common denominator. Like a certain other someone.
Oh my god, you're still talking about Doodletones? You say I talk about dead topics and now you're doing a video on Doodletones? Are you serious? Now I was going to end the video here, but after looking through the comments section of this video, I knew there were too many gems to pass up. Since Junkie is somewhat involved with this, I decided to have him read out the comments.
Okay, so context here. Jar sent me these images and I asked him what was going on. Apparently this dude by the name of Darkscythe is quote-unquote criticizing his work, when really it's just a lot of hearsay, shit-talking, and much, much more. So let's have fun reading the comments, why don't we? Comparing him to Sargon of Akkad or wrecked feminist videos is a bit too far. His videos and his fans are nowhere near as autistic as those two. I also like some of his anime-related videos, but not anything else from his channel.
Okay, just a little friendly advice. Don't talk about how other fan bases are autistic, and then start talking about how much you love anime with an anime profile picture.
And yeah, he does talk about dead topics all the time. Also, can't wait for that response video by Jar. That'll be fun. Oh, you have no idea, buddy. Truth be told, I like most of his content. Or at least, I liked his content for a long time, and now I'm debating whether I do or think he's just mediocre. My central criticism with him is that I feel even if he does make good arguments, he doesn't really have to try. This isn't exclusive to him really, but I think as long as he picks the right side to an issue and waits enough, it will ensure that he has positive support from his fans. That made no sense, but whatever. I think his fanbase has grown to him enough to the point where people will latch onto his opinion, even if he might make little sense or just straight up doesn't put effort into his own points.
Okay, I somewhat agree with this. I've never seen another YouTuber admit to this, but I know I have a few fans who will agree with me no matter what. Also, how am I edgy? You do know the video you're watching is made by Darkscythe, right? One of the most edgiest guys on YouTube.
And part of it is that people like his persona. Persona, really? It's flashy, it's new. It's a thing that draws attention to people. That's the commentary community for you, and not just this obscure CC that harbors users like Doodle and whoever else is relevant here. I'm talking about all of community on YouTube. The most infamous of all, Leafy. Wait, you're comparing Jar to Leafy? Holy shit, man. Pretty much raked in his horde of autists by making low-effort, clickbaity, happy, and edgy videos. Okay, I don't even think Jar's videos would even count as clickbait, because at least he talks about the topic at hand that is related to the thumbnail itself, whereas other videos who do actual clickbait are not related to the thumbnail itself, and just did it to make clicks. That's why boobs are considered a clickbait, because obviously it's not going to be about the video, unless you're talking about fucking cup sizes. We all know this, and ever since he's seen as a role model for many, if not that, a breathing instruction manual, Jar isn't a Leafy, but he succeeds because he sticks to a bland but effective formula, much like the slimy lizard before us. I can't write as much as I would want to say because I haven't really cared for his videos for a while, at least to the extent I once did. The sad truth is that even if I do bring rational discourse to the topic, he could easily just make me subject to one of the ex-fan/associate comment videos and it wouldn't matter.
Why would you assume that? Other than my Spechie video and this video, I have never done a hate comment reading. Where are all these assumptions about me coming from? Bro, if you have a problem with one of my videos and you think you can make a rational argument, just leave a comment. Shady Do-Rags has disagreed with me before and I didn't call him an ex-fan for it. However, Darkscythe is someone who would do that. Here's someone leaving a rational comment on his video. And here's him saying he's going to make a video about it. You accuse me of doing something, but Darkscythe is the one doing the thing you're accusing me of doing. Have I gone mad?
Some look up to him like he's some guru or god. He's not. That isn't his fault though. It's not like he thinks he's a god himself, he's just a fucking robot who makes random videos on topics, whether they be dead or not. It's something he wants to talk about because it's, you know, fun. What happened to the fun aspect of YouTube, guys? Okay, this one is kind of funny, honestly, because this is a user who's criticizing Darkscythe. Get a load of this. Okay, so there's a lot wrong with this video, but I want to point out the problems I have in one particular part. So your accusations of plagiarism is one I found to be quite shocking. He later on points out that Jar's video goes more in depth with the GT timeline, which in turn is different from Darkscythe's video. Then Darkscythe responded with this. "Oh, I made that point to piss people off. I'm glad it worked." Wow, how fucking convenient. But in all honesty, it just makes you kinda look stupid. I never understood the point of trying to troll people while trying to make a good point. It just discredits you altogether or makes you seem like someone who shouldn't be listened to. I still stand by the point, I just worded it in an inflammatory way. Don't think that's how inflammatory works, but whatever. Besides, it's pretty jarring coming from the guy who helped found the Alt-CC. I wonder what their welcome tag would be. Welcome to the Alt-CC, where we not only accuse you of plagiarism, but we'll do it to bring you down. There are no breaks, and you must plead to our rules or else be lynched.
I also love that Darkscythe says, it's just a joke to piss people off. But then he's saying that he stands by his point. You can't have it both ways, Darkscythe. Ryan tried to do the same shit.
At the very least, I should clarify some confusion that people have with the Black Borders complaint. Black Borders Matters is a suggestion, not a requirement.
Hold on a second. I thought you said it was a joke.
Hear that? It was a joke!
Is it a joke or is it a suggestion? You can't have it both ways.
Darkscythe, I would like you to come to one of my streams so we can catch up on all times, as well as hear from you again.
You say my fans are retards, yet you're favoriting a comment from Conundrum asking if he can hang out with you? Really? And before someone says, oh, Conundrum's a fan of you too, well, not anymore.
Yeah, Jar's content is pretty shit. He seems like an okay dude in person. I've talked to him on Discord before about random shit, but him making videos on overdone shitty bandwagons that were never that entertaining to begin with is beyond cringy. Like, seriously? A video on fucking Spechie of all people? Spechie's honestly less of a lolcow than half of the retards who talk about her.
Bitch, you talked about Spechie too! And your video was one of the worst ones! For those of you who don't know who this person is, this is Mega Dupe. Yeah, he changed his name, but I mostly know him as Mega Dupe. When I was in the Pokemon drama with Doodletones, he was totally against me. And when the Alt versus the Neo drama happened, he made a video saying me and Doodletones were stupid. But he talked about Doodletones the entire time and not me. It was a little weird. And I've seen him talk shit about me in Seth's Discord server. And later he decided he didn't like Seth the programmer. Mega Dupe, you've done this so many times before. We both know how this is going to end.
Now, if you guys have no idea who Just a Robot is, me and him actually got into some drama, you know, a few months back, and it was all my fault. I almost dissolved the friendship because we were friends at the time, and it was a really shitty thing to do. He has forgiven me for this shit, so that's really cool.
And yes, his spurging over SJWs is so fucking annoying.
Mega Dupe, you know I don't make videos about SJWs and feminism anymore. You even congratulated me for it.
Kind of switched his content to focusing on power scaling or debunks of versus battles videos, right? And not gonna lie, I love this transition. I think it's way better than the, let's be real here, the old stale formula of just shitting on SJWs.
Also, Mega Dupe, don't call me a spurg when you have done this.
In fact, I challenge every commentary community member right now. Next year at WrestleMania, all of you guys, in the main event, I will walk in there as a challenger and come out of there as a champion. Nothing can stop me. I am the best. I am different from everybody else, and I am the ultimate fucking ranter.
Let me guess, Mega Dupe, that was just a joke, right? I've heard that excuse so many times.
I wouldn't say it's as bad as Sargon, because at least Jar doesn't go around saying that literal Nazis are cooler than SJWs. No, seriously, that's something that Sargon actually said.
Well, technically that's true. A serial killer is cooler than an accountant. I'm not saying that makes the accountant bad or the serial killer good. I'm just saying that a Nazi is cooler than an SJW any day. A Nazi is, of course, more evil than a feminist, but that doesn't make the Nazi not cool. But
it definitely is really annoying. Shit, this shows how little he knows about the actual world if he thinks SJWs are really a threat.
Well, they lost most of their power, and that's why I don't talk about them much anymore. And can you define threat? I don't think they're a threat to my life, but I do think they're a threat to other things.
What's even funnier about this is that Jar is a Trump supporter. Anyone who's a Trump supporter and a free speech warrior is already a fucking moron, considering Trump does not support free speech and has made claims against free speech. You do know that even if Jar was supporting or voted for Trump, we honestly had a lose-lose situation for us. It was either pick the loony Oompa Loompa or crazy email deleting psychopath. Either way, we were screwed. He'll just make a response saying you're just a small channel and bitch out and not link your video in there. You're not wrong. In the full video I mention your feud with him because it kinda goes to show how pretentious and stuck up he is. I don't know, throughout this entire video, Darkscythe, you seem pretty fucking pretentious, like holy shit man, calm that hate boner.
Darkscythe, what are you talking about? You didn't mention his feud with me at all in this video. These comments don't make any sense, they're so weird. And I need to talk about this little prick. Me not linking your video is not me bitching out. Oh no, I was so scared of your video being full of dislikes. Oh, the humanity. And second, buddy, I am going to link Darkscythe's video. Do you know why? Because he didn't ask me to go easy on him, like you did.
So, hopefully I don't get completely flamed by this video.
You said, hopefully I don't get completely flamed for this video, and I made sure you didn't get completely flamed for your video. You left a comment on my video, linking your video, and saying my response was very mature. Then you contacted me on Discord, asking if it was okay for you to link your video. And I said, yes. It should have ended there, but then you made another video and you were super pissed off.
I'm going to stop you right here because this is probably the most insulting thing you say in the entire video. Mainly because you come off as a pretentious jackass when you say this, because it's like I can't handle the criticism or the backlash from your huge ass channel when I've done similar videos on much bigger YouTubers than yourself. So please stop the bullshit.
Sorry for going easy on you, buddy. Next time don't ask me. And that was over 2 months ago. You're still whining about what I did to this day. Get over it already. There's other stupid comments like a guy saying he watches my videos to learn what not to do with his videos, but he has no videos. Or a guy complaining about an unfunny skit even though the skit was meant to make fun of unfunny skits. Claiming that the video was 20 minutes long even though it wasn't, it was only 5 minutes long, and saying no wonder why no one knows about people like me, even though I have over 70k subs. The only logical explanation I can come up with for all of this is that this was a massive organized troll raid. All I gotta say is, guys, I have made plenty of mistakes. You don't need to spread lies and rumors and make assumptions about me. I'm planning to make a video about a few of the mistakes I have made throughout my time on YouTube. I haven't done one of those in a while, and I think you guys would like it.